To our global audience, explain the linkage of all we're seeing politically into the odd thing of uncertainty in the market. Are they linked or are they separate at this moment?
So anytime there's a political uncertainty, something like extraordinary, like an impeachment or a big election coming up where the outcome is unknown, that creates uncertainty in the markets. And that's because it's unclear what the policy preferences of an incoming politician would be, or what will be the ability of the Trump administration now to enact some of the policies that were seen as more or less going to take place, such as the ratification of the U.S. Canada-Mexico Free Trade Agreement negotiations, a limited potential for a middle-class limited tax cut, and so forth. So those are the concerns that take place in the market. So if you're positioning yourself in one way or the other, therefore, you're not quite sure what the probability is now.
But does this mean that, the president is distracted in dealing with trade? Does it also, I guess, take away the focus from the economy, or does it make him more focused on the economy to try and distract from, from the impeachment process?
So this president seems to be all over the place anyway, independent of an impeachment process, and it seems as if he's been being impeached since the day after he was elected. So I'm not sure if that in and of itself is going to be distracting. What it will be problematic is the ability for him to work with Congress to pass any agreements now whatsoever, even though there was a possible window in a couple of areas.
Professor, you wrote 22 years ago about the partisan paradox.
Yes.
This is the big difference I see from Nixon and from Clinton. The partisan divide, as Mitch McConnell struggled with yesterday, is extraordinary. How does that partisan politics affect the process of this modern impeachment?
So now what you have is increased polarization within the legislature between the parties, and where you would before get a moderate group to actually work with the president, even the Speaker of the House and so forth, they're no longer willing to do that, partly because of the political tensions that have taken place. So anything on a policy area, any of that policy agenda is now pretty much gone, and it's subsumed behind these
I think we can
hearings.
take the next 3 months off.
Can we? Yeah, there's nothing else going
Professor
on, right?
says it's done. Policy's done.
All right, thank you so much.
Well, policy's done. It is in the sense that there's going to not be much movement. You're going to have a lot of gridlock. Right. When you get gridlock, you're not going to get a lot of policy enacted. It doesn't mean that you don't have a lot of politics. It doesn't mean that the regulatory agencies stop working.
Right.
But it does mean that window of opportunity to do anything before the election is gone.